Hi everyone, I'm just going to take on a little project today, this afternoon. I'm hoping, if you see all that pile of wood there, which used to be my bed, if I can make it into a garden bench. Now, if it looks crap, I'm literally going to cut it up, use it for firewood at my mum's. If it looks okay, I'll do a second video painting it. I think the hardest bit's going to be shadows in the way. If you can see them side things there, I'm going to have to make another part for the other side, which will need a lot of measuring, which I'm not the world's best at, but we'll see how it goes. Right, I've got some this Gorilla wood glue here. I've measured that frame, the bottom bit there, that piece of wood there, drilled holes in it. I'm going to put some glue in it, get my impact driver, screw it to the back of the frame. Okay, now that's on, I'm going to attach that bracket there, which holds the slat of wood in. Right, I kind of messed this up a bit, well, not on purpose, that's gone and split, so trying to have it like the originals out the question. So what I'm going to try doing is fill that with some wood filler. I'm going to obviously put glue on that, put that on top, and then use that long Phillips screw, and hopefully it'll go right the way down. And hopefully when the wood filler's in it, which is kind of like body filler except it's for wood, same kind of process with the hardener, it will harden around the screw and it should keep it in place, and hopefully going right down there it works. I'll give it a go. I've got no other wood, so it's game over if this doesn't work. Okay, a little bit later, actually does look like a bench rather than a bed. I'm going to paint it anyway. I've screwed that bracket in, but the screws were a bit long, so I ground them off. That bracket's in. I've done that one, do that now. They've just gone on the original way. Put the light on there, not making much difference. They've gone on the original way. That's the bit there, that's on the original way, however, it's very flimsy. So, what I'm going to do is kind of bulk it out with some of the wood, so it's level with that, and then try and bolt it on somehow. I don't know how, but I'll think of it, or I'll use the fat screws, whichever's I've got handy. Okay, I'll get back soon. Okay, so it's looking so far. I've made a few mistakes that I didn't think of. Some very stupid obvious ones I'll probably get loads of comments about. One, of course, it's a bed, isn't it? So it's not going to be level. I didn't think of that. So somehow I'm going to have to think of a way of that being level so I can have the slat in the middle. I don't know, I'll think. I'm going to add another piece of wood there so it's got a bit more strength. And another thing, I use threaded bolts I found, so I don't really want to be going out buying more stuff. They had the bolts. Unfortunately, I'm going to come to this side, they had no bolts, so I've used screws instead. I've still got the wood, so at a later date I might get some bolts and do that. I'm gonna cover that where that screw's sticking out, and I'll do the same on the other side so it matches. Okay, sometime later, unfortunately I can't, I've done my best to level that bit out, but it won't, I can't get it completely level. I put some washers underneath that and it's about as good as I'm going to get it. I've removed the slats, so I'm going to fit them, screw the slats back on, hopefully it'll be alright. Might be a case maybe I've got to add more wood there, but we'll see how it goes. Right, hopefully I'll pack up soon. What I've done to get them pieces of wood in the right position, I've just made like a guide. I've put all those slats on, so I'm going to put the main bits on and hopefully call it a night. One thing I haven't done is checked if they're level. That's about how it was when I done it to begin with. So's that. So's that. Right, let's get these slats on. Right, a few days later, I've got all the slats on. What I did to space them, just got off cut, so it's like that. Haven't done that one very well then. And like that. I might redo that one. It's perfect there, but it's not there. But anyway, I'll leave that for now. Next job. Some of the screws have gone through on the underside, so I'm just going to grind all them off. Right, what I'm going to do now, more for cosmetic reasons than anything else, I'm going to measure and cut and put the piece on the end like that. It'll just neaten all that up. Shouldn't take me too long. Right, now they're on, I'm going to try and reinforce it from the bottom. I've marked out halfway, marked the holes to drill. So I'm going to drill them and then try and fit the piece of wood somehow. Right, I'm going to call it a night in a minute because I'm pretty much finished anyway and I'm conscious of the noise. Got one of these plastic brackets on the end there. I'm going to screw it to the other end and hopefully that'll firm the middle up. Right, I'm going to call it a night. I'd say this is it for part one. It's basically, I've got the frame that I want. The only thing I would say when I just sat on it, wasn't all that comfortable. But I've not got enough slats, so it'll have to have a cushion on it, which I think most people do anyway. That's about it. I'm going to do a part 2 video of painting it. So I'll get this uploaded, see what people think. Just a few obvious things never thought of during the making of this, but hopefully I've rectified them now. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye.